This XFL Week 1 Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBet. WynnBet is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBet has what you need to win. Sign up today, bet 100, get 100 at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. State restrictions apply. We're also brought to you by the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. Start your engine with Rod and Cody and get ready to gamble on the Daytona 500 this Sunday.
This is Nate Collins. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. That's the sound of a man who's getting through the steps nicely. The grieving process feels like you're. I can't even see the scab anymore, Sean. That was quick. 3 days and it's gone.
Hey, you got to turn the page. Joining us here to talk spring football, the co-host of the XFL Gambling Podcast, Colby Dant, aka the Dantabase.
X gonna give it to you, Sean.
I knew Colby's sound check was not accurate. We're talking XFL spring football in the house.
Like that sweatshirt you're wearing there, Crame Dog.
Well, one of us came prepared for the show. If you're not watching on YouTube.com/sports gambling podcast, you wouldn't be seeing me in this sweet fire throwback kinda.
Does your future still hold up?
Houston Roughnecks. I was reminiscing. I was pulling up the old spring football sheets and looking at the 2020 XFL season. It was all the way back in the pandemic, and then
pre-pandemic. Yeah.
Well, the pandemic ended this season, much like it did many others. Week 5 was the last official week, and we were sitting on Houston Roughnecks futures. Shout out PJ Walker. Shout out Cam Phillips
and our friend June
Shout
Jones.
out June Jones, and they were just dominating the league.
They were. And they really were.
And then the league ended, and I didn't get my future. And here we are again. Now 3 years. Does it feel like 3 years, Sean?
Feels like it's been 3 years. Yeah.
Does it?
I was trying to remember what my XFL team was. Do you guys remember?
Well, it was so.
I think we were all Team Roughneck.
We were very much into the Roughnecks.
A lot of that was because we had June on the show, though, right?
Obviously, we are fans of people who are fans of us. Back then, it was the Seattle Dragons, DC Defenders, Los Angeles Wildcats, RIP, Houston Roughnecks, Tampa Bay Vipers.
LA needs a third football team. I think get rid of them.
New York Guardians, RIP, St. Louis Battlehawks, and the Dallas Renegades. So obviously. We have some movement. Colby, what are do you want to? Sean, I feel like you might have been. Were you not a Tampa Bay Vipers fan? Am I misremembering?
No, well, I think he did kind of root for.
Or was he a Battlehawks? I do remember the
That's true.
I did love doing the caca, but I don't remember if I had a. And the Stars are in the USFL, correct?
Yes.
Blob did a great Valentine's Day post. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw it
at Gambling Podcast.
They have not killed off the blob
that
yet.
And let's not. And where does when was the AAF? Was it?
That was the year before.
Before
19.
19.
Yeah.
19.
Yeah.
Wow. What a journey through spring football.
We've had 4 straight years of spring football.
Wait, what was 2021?
Well, TSL. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
We're counting that.
Well, that became the USFL.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so we have some new teams. I think.
Do we?
Well, Tampa Bay is now the Vegas Vipers.
Yeah. I like that.
Is the city of Tampa Bay enraged? We don't care.
Probably
Colby,
going to the Hooters there.
Well, hold on,
because what 3 teams have you selected as your team?
Well, hold on. Let's get through this because DC lost
With these names. I'll be honest. Look,
here we go.
There's some This is by far the worst league of names.
Oh wow, really?
Well, every name is awful.
Let's talk about
for
it
the most part.
Let's talk about it.
Battlehawks are good.
Battlehawks are fine. They're still in St. Louis, but the Arlington Renegades, formerly Dallas. So Dallas
what
lost
are they
the
doing
team
there? What are
to
they doing
Washington.
There? No, Arlington, Texas.
Oh, it's Arlington.
It's 10
Texas.
minutes away. What are we doing here?
They don't want to be associated with Dallas.
This is like the Anaheim Angels, California Angels, Los Angeles Angels, and Anaheim.
Yeah.
It's a territorial battle.
And then you have the New York Guardians go down to Orlando.
Well, that's typical, right?
Typical of New Yorkers.
You get old, you go down to Florida because it's warmer down there. Houston still has the Roughnecks. Beautiful.
That's the best name.
But I mean, it's the best name. I've heard they've changed the logo from this classic gem.
They had to. You know why?
Because
that filthy Bud Adams family was trying to sue them for saying it was too close to the Oilers.
Come on, guys.
Oilers don't exist, guys. You got rid of them. You fucking losers.
You can't hang on to a team after you get rid of the team.
So continuing down, as Sean mentioned, the Battlehawks. We still. I mean, St. Louis. Shout out to the fans of St. Louis. They deserve a football team. I wonder what are they doing with the money that they got from Kroenke, that they sued Kroenke for the way he left.
Well,
are they
judging by the murder rate in the city of St. Louis, which is just way higher than anywhere else in America?
Okay. Colby's deep in on murder ratings and TV ratings.
It's all those forensic files.
All right, then we have the San Antonio Brahmas, which is this?
That's
just
the worst name of all time.
Is this just The Rock saying, "Hey guys, we're gonna have a Brahma"?
Actually, no. The Sea Dragons is worse. But
this is
right there.
This is The Rock. This is when The Rock runs your league. You have a team named the Brahmas, right?
Which is a chicken, right?
No, it's a bull.
It's a bull.
No, it's a. We went through this on the XFL show.
No, it's not a bull.
It's a chicken. It's a rooster or something, right?
No,
we
a
went
Brahma.
through this.
No, the Brahma's a bull.
J Mark's in the chat. We went through this. Google this.
Oh, what? Colby
we did this.
It's a Brahma chicken.
Yeah.
What?
No, it's got to be a bull. Why would they make their
look
logo
at
a
it.
chicken?
If I Google American Brahman,
the logo's
it's a bull.
fucking bull.
Oh, I haven't seen their logo.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
come on.
It's a chicken.
Tune into the Sports Gambling Podcast.
Colby, look at that.
Okay.
That is a bull.
It kind of looks like a cock.
But if you Google Brahma, chicken comes up.
Well, yeah, there's also
we just
a Brahma
did it right
chicken.
here.
No, you did. But if you type in a Brahma bull, the American Brahman, it's a American.
No, but that's a Brahman. This is a Brahma.
Oh shit.
The Brahma is a chicken.
Oh shit.
No, it has an S on it.
Yeah, but he's seeing this as an N.
Okay.
It's the Brahma bull. That's what it is. It's not a chicken.
I mean, I'm with Sean on this one, both because of what the logo looks like and because the Rock's tight affiliation with Brahma bulls. All right,
and as J Mark's pointing out, Brahma bull was the Rock in WWE.
That's what I'm saying. That's why they're named this.
So that's why they're named that. Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
By the way,
still a terrible
three
football
teams in the state of Texas already. Then we have the Seattle Sea Dragons. This is Colby. Come on. So J Mark coming to the defense of his co-host here. No, J Mark. Look at the logo.
You have to read what J Mark's saying for the audience to know what you're talking about.
I'm agreeing with Colby that I'm wrong, but in reality, I'm right.
We went through
it's like
a 30-minute segment of this because we were trying to figure it out. I didn't know. I honestly didn't know what it was.
But the logo, to me,
it's a 100%. It's a bull.
Looks like a bull. And then we have the Sea Dragons and the Defenders were at least a throwback team to the 2020 season.
Yeah. Well, the Dragons were, they added the C, which makes it even worse. But
what were they were just the Seattle Dragons.
Yeah.
We called them the Sea Dragons last time.
Yeah,
because Seattle, like C is an abbreviation.
Did we move that needle?
We might. I mean, it's not the first time we've been on the tip of the spear of spring football.
Speaking of spring football, if you're looking to get down on the XFL or maybe college basketball, NBA, NHL, even the Daytona 500. Give out some NASCAR picks earlier in the week. All you got to do is go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. Bet big, win bigger with WynnBet. Sign up over there, get your $100 free bet. State restrictions apply. So many ways to win. Spin that parlay wheel. Nothing better than getting that sweet, sweet parlay boost on the parlay wheel. So many ways to win over at WynnBet. That's why they call it WynnBet. And of course, if you get the biggest long shot parlay of the week, maybe you put in an 8-team parlay of XFL sides and totals.
#Legends only.
You can get yourself a $1,000 free credit. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at wynnbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WynnBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
I like that idea. every week we put in an 8-teamer on the Extreme Football League.
Is that what it's short for extreme?
Originally,
Generally,
I don't know about now.
Generally, when you put an X in front of something, it's because you're extreme.
Maybe the Extreme Chicken League. I don't know.
Especially
What's going on
when it's a capital X. All right, you guys ready for this?
Yes.
My dates are horribly wrong here. Hold on, checking.
Why? What are you pulling up?
Oh, I
went back as far as if we were going to just auto play all the unders. Week 1 scores of the XFL 2020. We have a 23-3, 37-17, 31-19, and 15-9. So probably 2-2 on the over. No strong trends there as far as auto unders.
Did you happen to take a look at the USFL last year?
No.
So pulling up week 1 from the USFL last year, we kind of had a similar angle. And if you remember, they released some. I believe they released some comically high totals, almost as a promotional stunt at Fox Bet, because it was a Fox.
Oh yes.
And the numbers like opened in the mid 50s and got bet all the way down to the low 40s, which is what you're seeing on the sheet. And based on what I'm looking at, Sean, I'm seeing a lot of unders.
But also, these will have home field environments, though. I mean, the Battlehawks. Well, they're on the road, but
right?
I mean. Yeah.
So what do we expect in DC Defenders? Over under fans in attendance, 500.
Oh no, DC actually shows up. They don't like the pro football team there anymore.
They're Sean. Some have said they're thirsty for a football team in DC.
They got the beer snake going. I mean, the ones you got to worry about are the Texas ones here. I would imagine San Antonio will show up.
They got some high school combines.
Houston and Arlington, I'm not sure.
All right, so let's get to it. So as Colby said, we are actually playing in locations. The XFL has a travel budget. Shout out to them. Vegas is going to be heading down to Arlington to play the Renegades, the Vipers here. This is a 12 o'clock West Coast kick. Arlington -2.5 feels like 2.5 is like their de facto number in the XFL when they don't know shit. -125 on the money line. Vegas +105. 37 is the total. These numbers certainly indicate to me that they are not like they're looking to take some action here. They're not no stunts. And 2, they understand what we understand, which is this is going to be some shit football where the defense is way ahead of the offense. Well, and in most cases
we have some familiar names to the team. Luis Perez, of course, getting the start for the Vipers. Controversy has reigned in Vegas. Boston, what's his name? Brian Scott.
Brian Scott.
Byron
Scott was with the Lakers.
Yes,
in the 80s.
Brian Scott brought in. Everyone thought, hey, he's a big spring football guy. He's former Stars quarterback. Got knocked out.
Sexy to the spring football.
I mean, they brought in Kukas. No one missed a beat. I blame Blob for most of that. And then they brought in Brett Hundley. They paid him a bunch of money, and now Brett Hundley isn't even getting the start. How do you lose your job if you're Brett Hundley if they pay you a bunch of money? How are you getting paid a bunch of money in the XFL and you're not playing?
That's a great question, and I was surprised to see most of these teams have released their depth charts now. A lot of lawn chairs starting, Sean. A lot of lawn chairs in week 1 will be starting. So we have a garage sale going on. Was a bit perplexed though at this because why give him all that money? I guess maybe he's not familiar with the offense because it was not that long ago. But isn't everyone not that familiar with the offense?
Well, if you're not familiar with the offense at this point, they're probably sweating that $200,000 contract.
I don't know about the league structure and that.
But you're also we watched Perez. Perez was he was very clearly one of the best by a wide margin quarterbacks in the last spring football league we got to watch in the USFL. So I think this is certainly a situation where it makes sense that Perez would beat out someone to win a job. Also, how many backup I know you talked about this on the XFL Gambling Podcast, Colby, but how many backup quarterbacks did we see in the USFL?
All of them.
So who cares what starting today?
Why throw that much money then at him? It doesn't make sense.
Do they have a salary cap?
No.
Oh well, then who cares? I guess.
Well,
I mean, the league will fold next year, but
wow.
Well,
so did we already talk about the coaches in this one?
Well, this is the one that's an easy handicap because look, Rod Woodson's never been a head coach. Yeah. He's the head coach of
Vegas.
the Vegas team.
And who's he going against?
Bob Stoops, who
was with the Renegades in 2020.
Yeah.
and he has some familiarity with his coordinators there. They also Renegades bringing back our good buddy Sal Cannella, who was I feel like we played him in DFS.
Right?
Wow.
No, you get a little Sal Cannella. You just drink the water down in the Caribbean.
Here's why you gotta just ride with Stoops here, because Jonathan Hayes is his co-OC. Jonathan Hayes was the coach of the Battlehawks. They were probably the second best team in the XFL in 2020. Also, Chuck Long's the other OC who won a national championship with Stoops at Oklahoma. They also have a Spurrier on staff, and Scott Spurrier. So can't fade them.
Was Scott Spurrier the Spurrier that was on Leach's staff at Washington State?
No.
How did Kyle Sloter not get to start for the Renegades? It looks like Drew Plitt is going to be starting over him.
Stoops understands how the game works. He wants his closer quarterback. If I'm coaching in this league, I'm playing 2 quarterbacks because who cares?
Yeah. Well, and another thing is Sloter. Look, we and Sean love Sloter because
Sloter
of
Saturdays.
An announcer on the way back from doing stand up in San Francisco, but he's a little reckless with the ball. We saw that in New Orleans. Like he's fun to watch, but he definitely makes some very questionable plays. Bob Stoops, I don't know if that's his forte.
Wow. And the Renegades, I'm just seeing this. They have Cravion LeBlanc, aka used to play cornerback for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Has a badass nickname. They call him Strap. And I'm worried about supporting a team that's this close to Texas or this close to Dallas.
So,
but maybe by calling themselves Arlington, it's the ultimate fuck you to Dallas, and I can allow it.
But I mean, it's worth noting that we could forget the coach for a second. Luis Perez to Martavis Bryant, who Sean, you remember him, NFL talent. Like he was potentially an NFL stud. Get it? It's been a couple of years. Our guy Sal Cannella, who will make anyone sick, Sean. And then I love seeing this. You know who their punter is? You remember
Marquette King,
that fun ass Raiders punter for all those. I mean, he's gonna do something in spring football.
Dog.
I'm going to go against my logic because, as Sean said, they are a bit close to Dallas for me.
Do you know who the running back is for the Guardians?
Or
not the Guardians?
The Renegades?
The Renegades.
Who is it?
Davion Smith from Pizzagate.
Oh,
In the USFL.
Did they get him?
Yeah.
Now wait, what was it? He got cut
he asked
he
for
didn't like
chicken
pizza?
salad. And there was pizza night. It was pizza night, and
sounds like my daughter. Dad, I didn't eat lunch today at school. Why not? All they had was crappy Domino's pizza.
Well, I mean that's a guy who cares about nutrition. How can you not take the Renegades? I'm going Renegades
I'm
here.
all over the Renegades. They got a couple East Carolina Pirates on their roster too.
Do we have what division are these? There's 2 conferences. Yes,
they're calling them divisions for some strange reason, but there's a South and a North, and the South is 3 Texas teams in Orlando, and the North is everyone else. DC, Seattle.
So Vegas is North.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
You don't want to end up in North Vegas.
I don't know if that makes. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense to me. Worth noting: Vegas plus 650 to win it all. Arlington plus 500.
Oh, I already bought a future.
I'm taking Vegas, Sean. I think there's a chance. I'll have opinions later, but I'm taking Vegas. I think this offense could be very good.
Really?
This offense is supremely talented.
Rod Woodson played for what? He played for Neil O'Donnell and Bubby Brister. Then he played for the Ravens when they had Trent Dilfer, right?
All right, so Martavis Bryant is one of my all-time what if fantasy football guys. Let me bet on this fucking team week 1 as a dog here plus 105.
Give me that small dog on him.
Give me that small dog sound effect. You guys you're focused too much on one thing. There's some talent on this Vegas Viper team. Plus Vegas Vipers is fun to say. I think I might have to have a second team, and it might be the Vegas Vipers.
They're going to be playing a home game while we're in Vegas. Should we get? We could probably get a package for all the SGPN people.
Where do they play these games? Over at the.
Thankfully, not the EDM club. The minor league baseball stadium.
Very good. All right.
Downtown.
So next up, that was a noon kick on Saturday.
It's outdoors and it's on a baseball stadium. No wonder you love this.
Love it.
Colby.
There we go. Football's back.
Guy getting tackled into second base. Are they gonna park the cars on the
over
field?
100 years of history, buddy.
Are they
100 years of history.
are they
They
gonna have
started
some-
doing this EDM nightclub shit.
Are they gonna have
right?
some like Marlboro billboards?
They need to do that.
to really take Colby back.
They
to
need to do that.
the 1970s with his
Why
favorite era
can't you
of
do
football.
that? Why can't you do that anymore?
Can I ask a question?
What's that?
Controversial. Do we know how these teams are traveling? Bus?
So they're sharing the flights.
What do you mean they're sharing the flight?
That's what's interesting. Is there's a hub where they can practice, but the teams travel together on a plane.
Wait, so
So they're not. So these are road games for everyone.
Well, not for this one because they're in Arlington.
Arlington's
Okay.
the hub.
But the other ones, yeah, they're all sharing the same flight.
Wait, so the hub is Arlington?
Yes.
Isn't that an advantage?
What do you mean they're all sharing the flight? Like this, it's not a school bus. You can't just drop guys off.
No, like they're
so the next
chartering.
game,
They're
Orlando and Houston, they're on the same flight.
So Orlando and Houston will charter the
Yeah.
same flight to Houston.
Even though that's like a 30-minute one, I think the big one would be DC. A lot of shit can happen all the way to DC.
How do you
know?
think they're separating them on the flights?
That's a good question. First
gonna
class,
hear-
first class
losers-
and second class on the way back.
Losers get middle seats.
Here's the mission: if you work in the if you're in the airplane industry, we need to find out what happens at post game flights. There's
Yeah.
got to be some drama that happens.
I like it.
Imagine some like Russell Wilson assholes trying to do his fucking high knees on the way back. losing teams. Defensive lineman doesn't like it so much. All right. 5:30 p.m. on the West Coast. We're heading to the nightcap here, the primetime spot. Saturday night, Orlando. Are all these games on ESPN, Fox, ESPN,
ABC, ESPN,
ABC? Because
Yeah.
Fox has
Disney.
USFL.
Disney's
They own this
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
All right. Well, the Orlando Guardians. Where were the Guardians before?
New York,
That's
and there also
Just
happened to be a baseball team in
They
Cleveland.
were really bad in New York.
they were bad.
Yeah.
They were a bad team in the last.
They had Kevin
one of the
though,
rare bad New York football teams.
Well, they're headed down to Houston, I guess together with Houston, to face my Roughnecks. Roughnecks
Wade
minus
Phillips is alive.
minus
Wow.
2.5 for the Roughnecks,
Yeah.
minus 125 on the money line. Guardians plus 105. 35.5 is the total.
Wow, Paxton Lynch getting another run here.
Unbelievable.
Or DeAndre Francois for the Guardians. How is Paxton Lynch still around?
The ultimate lawn chair.
He was really bad last time
last year in the USFL. He was awful.
Yeah. How did he get
wanna
another starting
You
job?
guys want to just pause for a second and let me take this one from here? A product of Justin Fuente. Part of the reason Justin Fuente got the high price job at Virginia Tech. Part of the reason Justin Fuente railroaded and submarined the Hokies program. Fuck Paxton Lynch. How is he starting? He got drafted by in the first round by John Elway. You remember that?
John Elway, good,
what a
quarterback, bad gentleman. He's like Willis Reed of the NFL.
Is Paxton Lynch one of the greatest busts in the history of the NFL?
Sure.
Did he
He was
ever
a
even
first
start?
rounder, right?
Did he play a game?
There's a lot of
I'm
bad draft picks though.
I don't-
There's a-
Are we
yeah.
sure he's starting though? I don't. It's him
I
or
saw-
Francois.
I saw he was starting.
XFL
Yeah.
insider J Mark says he's starting. I don't know. I trust J Mark. Maybe Sean's not a big
I don't think he'll
J-Mark
be starting very long after the first pick. DeAndre Francois will be in there.
Well, and that's almost an upgrade. Sometimes you got to handicap it that way.
Definitely
It's like you don't want this. All right, I'm pulling.
Well, and I think Wade Phillips should be able to coach up this Roughnecks defense.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about my concern
player coach too.
with Wade Phillips.
What do you mean
Wade
concern?
Phillips, a player coach.
Here's the concern. I know what you're gonna say.
He's
that
always,
motherfucker big timed us. Too
yeah.
busy to do the
Yeah.
show. And turned out he's on
Yeah.
vacation. We saw you on NFL
yeah,
Network.
yeah.
We saw. Oh, Wade Phillip on
doing
vacation.
some vacation.
Got
Really, I see you on fucking TV right now. All right, you're just sitting there talking to players, enjoying a Mountain Dew.
He is a player's coach.
No, but this let's look back at Wade Phillips' time as a head coach. I think one of the biggest struggles he had was offensively. Now, obviously, his defense. He's a defensive guy. The defense have been all right, but you know, when he was with the Bills, he ends up starting Rob Johnson. That's been speculated that there was a call from Ralph Wilson down. Who knows?
Oh wow.
Who knows? Remember the playoff because Flutie got him to the playoffs. He starts Rob Johnson in the infamous Wycheck
So
Kevin
dumb.
Dyson game.
He did have a strong arm though.
And then you had him as the head coach of what? Wasn't he? Was he the Texans head coach? He was definitely the Broncos head coach at one point. And then they really struggled with him offensively in Denver when he was the head coach.
He was known as a player's coach, and I think sometimes like players coaches can work when you have really good players and the players feel free and supported, and they. But I don't know, like, is that the best formula for a spring? To me, a spring football league, you want a guy who understands, has a probably against why, like, you guys are right to take Bob Stoops, like someone who understands what the formula is to get a team ready.
Well, I also think in college too, you have to adjust. Your players turn out so fast.
Guardians do have Eli Rogers, so that's kind of a fun pickup for them. But I mean, you're bringing in Terrell Buckley, who's just been like a career cornerback, defensive assistant guy. I don't think they're gonna end.
It's a lot like the Rod Woodson hire.
Yeah, and J Mark's pointing out that Lynch is gonna have the first snap, but they might be running 2 quarterback packages, which I just think is a horrible way to do this. You got to go all in on one guy and just try and build some chemistry, something. So I'm on the Roughnecks for sure.
I am too. I think they're the more talented roster. I have concerns though. That's the one team we don't really know the starting quarterback situation. I think it should be Cole McDonald.
That's what J Mark's reporting.
But once again, this has been the MO of Wade Phillips teams of starting the wrong quarterbacks. Or really making the offenses struggle.
Yeah, but he at least was coaching in the NFL. I mean, Terrell Buckley is no NFL coaching.
Assignment for everyone on SGPN. When we were saying anything about the XFL that J Mark said, he reported it.
Yes.
Okay.
Reported by J Mark.
He's reporting stuff.
I'm on the Roughnecks too.
Max Borgi also on this team. That was one of my takeaways.
Nick Holly. How about Nick Holly was on Houston originally back in the day?
But Max Borgi just seems like the perfect. We watched him in person practice up there in Pullman. The perfect XFL.
Oh yeah,
player. Just because so much check down action. He's a great pass catching running back, and it's super fun to say Borgi, or what do they say?
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
It's a fun chant for the 30 people in the stands to say. Although we'll see. Houston.
Kramer, are you officially on Houston?
I have to be on. I'm wearing the sweatshirt. I'm on, Wade Phillips, former Cowboys affiliation, does scare me a little bit, but for the same reasons you guys took Arlington, like it does seem wise to lean into the coaching angle. There's some serious question marks. And the talent is not that of the Vegas Vipers.
Hey, we're going to talk next 2 games before we do that. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Yes, best ball season is already here. You can play there, do the best ball draft with the rookies, free agents. It's a ton of fun. And then they also have their pick'em games, over unders essentially for NHL, NBA. They got golf stuff. Really, so many fun ways to get down. UnderdogFantasy.com. Use that promo code SGPN. 100% deposit match up to $100. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN.
I mean, I'm really impressed by this depth chart I'm looking at. Shout out to J Mark.
Doing the Lord's work.
Top notch reporting, not like those hacks Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter. All right, next up, we're moving to Sunday. What thoughts on the schedule? Do you like that they spread the games out throughout the whole weekend, or do you feel?
I mean, as a huge college basketball fan, I would prefer they do less on Saturday, but yeah, I mean, going forward after when college basketball will end and stuff. I also think big proponent of weeknight games, solo weeknight games.
I'm a little weary of the idea that they think that they can carry 4 separate windows of games. It almost feels like they should be playing concurrently. We have God's eye. We can handle it. Most people do. You're being a little arrogant here. Sunday noon kick on the West Coast. St. Louis Battlehawks. They're taking on the San Antonio Rocks. Let's just call them that.
All right.
In protest of their name being confusing.
I like it.
The San Antonio Rocks, the only home dog here on week 1. San Antonio catching 2.5 plus 105 on the money line, minus 25 for the Battlehawks. 36.5 is the total.
Holy shit! Jack Cohn is starting for
Lawn Chair Express.
Wow. He was really bad for Notre Dame.
He's like one of those wooden deck chairs. Like doesn't even have the folding capability. Just
catch yourself a splinter on that one.
Nothing worse than when you slide down that chair and you get
like Easter. He's like one of those Easter Island statues. This guy's not fucking going anywhere.
I was pretty shocked to see that he, I mean,
also AJ McCarron actually played in the NFL.
Yeah, and that was the infamous trade that got fucked up. The guy forgot to fax it through.
Oh,
Remember that for the Browns?
We'll remind people what happened.
The Browns, I believe McCarron at the time was on the Bengals, and they were trading for him, and they made the trade, and he did not. One of their assistants, I guess, did not.
They didn't get the fax in time.
Yeah, he forgot. He said, and then by the time he said it in, it had been
too late. So AJ McCarron stayed on the Bengals, and the rest is history. Now he's on the Battlehawks. If not for that mishap in the Cleveland front office, AJ McCarron would not be starting for Anthony Beck in the.
But now the Battlehawks. Part of their appeal is that they're probably the only team that has a legit home field advantage. But now they're on the road
in St. Louis, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll wait and see for.
Do you remember DC in the 2021? Their crowds were.
I don't
awesome.
remember anything from XFL one.
You have
from
to,
COVID.
It's the Dan Snyder.
That was number 2. Sean. XFL 1 was 2000.
It's the Dan Snyder rejection in YDC. But but the Rocks are being coached by Hines Ward. Do we have any?
Oh, big fan here. Big fucking fan.
Because he played football.
He's a real wide receiver. All right, he's not one of these bullshit wideouts. This dude will punch you in your fucking face.
Well, Anthony Beck. Do either of them have coaching experience?
Anthony Beck.
Both former players, all pro former players. Jets.
He was. Here's Hines Ward's coaching career: offensive intern for the Steelers.
Okay.
Only made it 1 year. That's how you know he's a huge pain in the ass. Like if you're a legend and you can't make it,
well, he
only
realized,
1 year with your former team.
He realized he thought he had enough money to not coach, and he was like, "Fuck this."
New York Jets offensive assistant, 2019 to 2020, electric years of offense.
Okay.
Florida Atlantic, 2021 wide receivers coach.
Oh, with Lane Kiffin. Huh?
Okay, I'm interested.
Took a year off, and now he's the Brahmas head coach and general manager.
So Lane Kiffin's coaching tree here. I love it.
Anthony Beck. Coach for the San Diego Fleet in the AAF, not as a head coach though, just the tight ends coach.
But that's that.
They have They have positional head coaches.
Yeah, he was a tight end for the Jets, right?
Yeah, and
so,
I'll never forgive him because he held on Lamont Jordan had a touchdown run in the playoffs against the Steelers in Heinz that would have gave the Jets the dub. And Anthony Beck called for a hold. It was a questionable hold though, to his point. But
are all coaches and general managers of these teams?
I believe so.
Oh, wow.
I think
Wearing
they're all
two hats.
Yeah.
Really trying to get as much juice out of the fruit as they can, huh?
I mean, I don't want to take a road favorite, but I can't put money on Jack Cohn. The guy is just complete dog shit. And AJ McCarron, we've at least seen some stuff from. Is he playing at a decent level? I like Hines Ward as a guy. You know, he's a guy you want to take in an alley fight, but I don't know if I want him managing a football team and coaching them.
Blocks well.
If you remember the AAF league, remember the first game, it was at that filthy Alamo Dome, but there was an awesome hit on Mike Berkovici, I believe, or Berkovitz or whatever the fuck his name, the Arizona State quarterback. But that place was packed. That place was packed. Remember that? I'm assuming with the Rocks name and everything, and then San Antonio just thirsty for football. This place is going to be packed.
So they're plus 550 to win the championship. I certainly remember their crowd. I do remember thinking, wow, San Antonio is a fun city for spring football because
for
it
any
works.
Football. The college team too shows up.
Sure. Maybe not for the big boy NFL stuff, but like they do seem to like their alt football down there. What is the meat?
Yeah, I think they'd show up for anything. The Spurs have great fans. I think any professional sport, I feel like it could succeed in San Antonio. I'm all over the Brahmas though, because I think the Battlehawks are living off of their rep from 2 years ago. Different team. Not really impressed with the roster when I look at it. Not impressed with the coach.
I've bet money on Jack Cohn before and instantly regretted it. I'm taking the Battlehawks as the road favorite.
I'm not prepared as I should be, but who's their backup?
For who are you referring to right now?
The Brahmas for the Rocks.
They have
Sinet? My God!
It might be Juwan Pass, the Louisville quarterback. That Louisville that guy's got wheels.
Is this the weakest quarterback room?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't take the Brahmas.
I mean,
you can't take the Fighting Rocks.
I don't think the St. Louis team's very good either. Like from a quarterback room.
You don't think AJ? I think AJ McCarron.
He's a lawn chair. That was back
Yeah.
when Alabama ran the ball 1,000 times.
AJ McCarron might be the best quarterback in this league.
No.
Whoa. We have not yet talked about Ben DiNucci. He might have that. I'm with Sean. Give me the Battlehawks. I need to see this quarterback room for San Antonio do something. I do like the crowd though. So if this is a shit show and it's just a defensive rock fight, maybe that's how they get it done. But give me the Battlehawks, Sean. All right, last game, 5 p.m. on Sunday. The Seattle.
This game's the best game.
This is almost a lot to say. Yeah, I mean, and I should have mentioned it, but the last two, St. Louis 4-1, the favorites to win it all. Brahmas plus 550. We didn't mention it earlier, but the Guardians are fucking 9-1. Long shots.
I already have a future on the Sea Dragons.
Now, don't we just bet on the? Oh wait, you said Guardians are 9-1.
Yeah, they're horrible. But all right. So speaking of these two teams, the Seattle Sea Dragons. I like how they added the Sea Dragons. Just so you know, they're not Air Dragons. They're Sea Dragons. They're the second favorites at plus 450 for good reason. And they're taking on the DC event. They're flying together, I guess, to DC on the longer flight. And they'll be playing the DC Defenders, who were a nice outfit last time. This time they are plus 750, the second long shot to win it all, which is a little surprising when you look at their roster. And their favorite here, minus 1.5 against the Sea Dragons, minus 115 on the money line, minus 105 for the Sea Dragons. 35.5 is the total. So to see the futures not exactly match up with the spread, I understand there's some home edge here. Although let's be honest, NFL teams get 1.5, so these teams probably aren't getting much more than that.
Well, you're bearing the lead. The Sea Dragons have Josh Gordon.
Well,
do they not drug test in this league?
Again, you have a situation where you just you absolutely have to look at it and say, oh, it's June Jones again.
Yep.
This is going to be the Roughnecks 2.0. They're going to know exactly what they want to do on offense, and holy shit, they have Josh fucking Gordon.
Yeah, but I mean, the Defenders do have Jordan Tamu, who we've seen
spring football gods.
I
play spring football at a high level. Ben DiNucci.
I got a future on both these teams.
Ooh.
Because I think
these are two of your teams.
Well, I just think that
two of your. How many teams do you have? 4 or 5?
No, I can't actually root for a fucking Sea Dragon, but I mean, I will because of the bet.
What do you mean you can't actually? Root for
terrible
a sea
name.
Dragon? If
Terrible
you walked up
name.
to a Sea Dragon, you would say this hot shit.
Terrible name.
That thing would rip your head off.
Terrible name.
What's a Defender?
That's not very
It's
original
like
either.
a commander?
Look, this is what I mean. It's like the names aren't really killing it in the XFL.
Does Commander beat Defender? Or
no, Defender's better because Commander ripped the San Antonio Commanders. Remember?
I can't wait to see the mascots in person. I can't wait.
But you know who DC? First off, I think they're undervalued because they don't know. Reggie Barlow's actually had a lot of coaching experience, where I feel like he has an edge on some of the other coaches that are unproven. Also, his defensive coordinator, one of my all-time favorites, Greg Williams.
Ooh,
Bounty Gate.
Yeah, and there's no rules against
football's back, baby.
There's no rules against bounties in this
That's what I'm
league.
saying. Fucking destroy them. But I also like some of their. I like Jaquez Ezzard. He was a beast. Remember when we did the spring FCS season at the wideout spot.
And to your point about the coach, Alabama State quarterbacks coach 2005 to 2006, Alabama State head coach 2007 to 2014,
And they were good. They were good.
Virginia State head coach 2016 to 2021. We're talking about running programs in similar conditions, probably to spring football.
He won a lot of those conferences.
Two-time Black college national champion, 3-time SWAC.
That's what I'm saying.
Division winner.
I think they're undervalued. I like their quarterback room a lot too. I think all 3 quarterbacks are capable.
I think Tamu and Perez are the most accomplished spring guys.
But even like De'Aaron King wouldn't surprise me if he emerged, or Dungy's athletic. Remember him at Syracuse?
J Mark is with the bold prediction here in the chat. Tamu plays 2 games, leads the league in turnovers. De'Aaron King takes over and lights the league up.
I don't mind that as a take. I might have to borrow that.
They also have Puka Williams at running back. Remember, this is the guy that had some of his toes cut off by a lawnmower accident.
I didn't remember that. Where did he play college ball?
Kansas.
Okay. Oh wow.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! What are you doing? Put the lawnmower away.
No, I actually think this team roster wise is better than what they think.
Well, I mean, Armstead on the Defenders is a guy that I rostered in fantasy as recently like a year ago.
No, he's a beast. Yeah.
So
At Temple, he was a beast.
He played for the. I mean,
To me, it doesn't go. You don't have to go farther than June Jones.
well,
for Seattle, you mean?
Yeah,
but
I'm all over.
I'd say
Seattle.
both of these teams are good.
Yeah. But I am taking Seattle.
So
here.
my big takeaway after talking this through is the defenders shouldn't be plus 750.
no, that's what I'm saying.
That's
They're doing that because they think, oh, who's Reggie Barlow?
the biggest
Yeah.
mispriced team that I've seen. So I mean, everything I love June Jones as well. I'm going to be on Seattle here because I think they're going to have a plan. But this DC team,
I am worried about Ben DiNucci though. He
What do you
looked
mean?
pretty bad.
Is that because he went to Patty C's college?
How many? Wait, hold on. How many?
He's a known Italian.
He played in a national championship game at the
Yeah.
FCS level. He played in regular season NFL games, which AJ McCarron has 4 starts. Ben DiNucci also played NFL games, and granted, he was related to the head coach, and that may have been a reason he got out there. I would say he's played the best in an NFL. He's played the best at the highest level.
I also just
he
trust.
had one game.
I trust
in the
June
NFL.
Jones though. Like he makes the
No, I'm
offense
with
really
you. I'm
friendly for you.
I'm taking Seattle. I'm just saying
June Jones
in
has a
back
plan.
in Seattle, I am nervous slightly about Ben.
But
DiNucci.
he has a plan, and he got his quarterback, like the quarterback that has played at a high level.
And I wouldn't like he has Steven Montez, who's a second stringer. He's from Colorado.
Yeah.
Like
He's grit. He's
well,
just all fucking.
he's got a little slower to him with those some dumb passes, but he's super athletic. He can run.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. He's just a grinder.
lot of Wong teaser opportunities here. Are you going to be taking advantage?
We'll see. Yeah, give me Seattle, and I'm with Colby. I think if you're looking to build out a futures portfolio,
well, then don't you wait till the defenders lose?
they're already second worst. I don't know if they drop a ton.
Yeah. What if it's a close game? They might go up some.
Wait, how are their odds second worst and they're favored week 1?
Well,
yeah, it doesn't.
well, you see it seems they're getting a little loss of home. Like home edge seems to be 2.5 points in the XFL, and so maybe they're saying they're not quite as good. But I'm with you. I don't again look at Seattle. They're plus 450. And what did we learn last time? I mean, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So you can take any of these teams and someone's going to come out and look good. I like it. I like the idea that DC and Seattle, maybe can that be a rematch of the championship? Or are they in the same division?
They're in the same division.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So the South division just sucks. Huh?
Yeah, it is pretty shitty.
So it's the 3 Texas teams in St. Louis.
No, the 3 Texas teams in Orlando.
Oh my God! So
Yeah.
Vegas, DC,
you gotta
St.
go.
Louis,
You gotta go Renegades. I think if you're gonna
Murderers Row,
Yeah.
all in one division.
So, and then how does it work? The top 2 from each division
playing the championship.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 teams make the playoffs.
4 teams make the playoffs.
So 50% of the league will be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Which means we have to pick 50% of the team to root for, 50% of the league to root for.
I'm leading Sea Dragons as my team, but I'll wait for week 1 to shake out and see who will win me over.
Because June Jones came on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
Okay. Greg Williams needs to come on the show. He has an open invite on my show anytime. Big fan.
I do think bounties in the XFL make sense.
Bounties in any football makes sense. Let's go.
Time for the Lock and Dog. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. Head over there, get your free bet. Kramer, what do you got?
I mean, how do you not just lock up Seattle? June Jones is going to have a plan. This offense is going to be able to score points, and I don't think every offense is going to be looking good right out the gate. And there's always that team. So this is where I'll ask Colby, what's the team that's going to come out and have the running attack?
The best rushing attack, you think? I would probably say, I'm trying to think on coaching fronts of what coach
Might be Bob Stoops.
Yeah, or Beck was a tight end, so maybe he commits to the run.
You know what? I'll scrap that.
I think the defenders. I actually think the defenders.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Here we go. Well, I'm gonna for my dog. Give me Vegas. I'll bet on the best spring quarterback. Perez. He was a dog for my Jersey Generals.
He was, man. It's a shame he went for the money. You know.
Is there more money in the XFL?
For quarterbacks.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was listening to your show.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's okay. You know.
Look, I'm gonna keep it simple. Always fade Paxton Lynch when given an opportunity to do so. Houston -2.5 is the lock. Seattle, Sea Dragons. They're gonna dragon, baby. It is confusing. I mean, when you think dragon, you think flying through the air and breathing fire.
Not a sea dragon though.
I mean, you can't breathe fire underwater. It makes no sense.
I always think it's like
That's
a
not true.
seahorse. It's like they're the seahorse.
You can have fire.
No, you could call them the Seattle Seamen. Is that what they call their players?
Yeah, the Seamen.
Hey, the Seamen, come on.
Let's flood right, flood left.
I'm locking
He's
up.
one of those guys who will get penetration.
Flood right down the
You
middle.
got to defend against the Seamen.
I'm locking up the Arlington Renegades. I think
No.
Vegas sucks. I think they're going to get the tar beat down by Bob Stoops and the Renegades, and then the dog. It's the Brahmas. It's the Brahmas.
Colby's a sucker for San Antonio because San Antonio #1 on your lit factor for XFL Stadium.
Even though
No.
are they playing that game in the dome?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's at that filthy David Robinson
but that's
Stadium.
good.
Yeah.
That's good for the noise.
The Alamo Dome. Here's what we're doing here. Stadiums lit factor.
Let's hear it.
There's only 3 that I think we can really say: DC, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Maybe I know Seattle fans are starting to show up and they support that MLS team
Yeah,
a
I was
lot.
gonna say they sell
Yeah.
out soccer.
But I'm the ones I'm curious about are like Orlando, Arlington, and Houston,
I think you're sleeping on Seattle. They're going to be
and
good.
Vegas.
They're going to be
Vegas will have a crowd. It's gonna be hot as shit.
No, Vegas. No, I mean Vegas likes to support their teams when they're good. So maybe if they start out hot. I mean, think about the Golden Knights.
So
you know why everyone likes the Golden Knights in Vegas? Because they were good starting from their first year.
Yeah.
The second they go through a little bit of a lull, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
All right.
But look, I mean,
What's your future? Good, let's. If
I
you
got-
only get one.
I'm gonna go Seattle.
If
but
you get 2, you get Seattle and DC.
I already
Yeah,
bet it
okay.
myself. Yeah,
I'm with
yeah.
you. I'm completely just going to agree with you and not have my own original take. My only intent here was to come in and bet on June Jones.
I'm gonna wait. I'll have a small sprinkle in the Seattle future, but then I'm gonna wait and just whoever looks horrible week 1 and takes them like 10-1, 12-1, whatever the long shot is after this first week.
Well, you might be right. DC might be the team to like just wait till they lose, see if the price gets.
Well, no, and especially like I think we did some good arbitraging with the USFL because like there was
it did go
I
all
think,
over the place.
Well, and I think the Stars were like ended up being like 15-1 or something crazy at one point, and it was very clear they were going to make the playoffs. And then so it's like once you make the playoffs, you had them at 10.
Well, that was the scenario where they were in the worst division. It was like Jersey was so far out ahead, and it was like people didn't know the rules. And you remind
and
me,
it's like you're gonna get into the playoffs.
we were having the conversation like, well, wait a second, do they like these odds don't even make sense?
So I'm gonna save a little bit of action for that.
But that take would happen in the Texas plus Guardians division because that's the weaker division.
Well, we don't know. We'll see. I mean,
what do you mean? We'll see.
It's a crapshoot.
We
No one knows
just
what they're
spent
talking about.
45 minutes talking about why.
Yeah.
Hey, make sure you toss us a nice rating and review over at Sports Gambling Podcast, Apple Podcasts. Always appreciate those 5 stars over on Spotify. And here we go. Going to give out a winner, a winning gift card.
What's he looking at right now? You think?
I have no idea.
Looks like he's peering into something deep.
No, I was trying to track down the winner of a $100 SGPN gift card. Hit us up. This guy's name is Iowa 2011.
Oh, nice.
SGPN is gold. I'm glad I found a podcast with such in-depth details to help me rewind my thinking process. Thank you for all you do for the average sports fans at Wilson 21. So appreciate it. Hit us up. We will get you a sweet gift card.
I love assisting in the thinking process.
That's what we're here to do.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green, and he is Ryan.
Sean, this is the XFL.
Kramer. Let it ride.